Hi everyone, welcome back. In this lecture, we are going to understand big data ecosystem and what tools are used for which purpose. Okay, so let's get started. In real world, there are a lot of sources that are producing the data at exponential rates such as IoT devices, the logs coming from some server, social networks, etc. Right? The very first step for any big data system is to consume this data, and that is called as ingestion stage. So there are many tools in the market that can be used to ingest the data, but the most commonly used one are the Kafka Connect. So Kafka is a full-fledged big data platform that provides many components for different purposes, and one of its component is Kafka Connect that has a number of inbuilt connector to ingest the data from various sources. So Kafka Connect, of course, is one of the most popular ingestion tool in the market today. The second one is Apache NiFi. So the Apache NiFi has also many processors to consume the data. Moreover, it is a GUI based, which means it provides beautiful interface, and it also provides few ETL capabilities such as adding few fields, removing the field from the data, changing the file format, and many other things while ingesting the data. So obviously Apache NiFi is also in my list as an ingestion tool. The next one is the Apache Flume. Apache Flume is a part of Hadoop framework. So if you have never heard about Hadoop framework, let me tell you, Hadoop framework is a collection of tools that is used to process massive data. And it was the first framework in the market that was introduced in 2009 to process the big data. And over the period of time, many tools becomes the part of Hadoop, and namely Apache Flume is one of them. Let me tell you, Apache Flume has number of connectors to ingest the data from various channels, and the last in my list is Apache Scoop. So Apache Scoop is again part of Hadoop framework, but it is very limited in functionality because it provides a connector to ingest the data only from RDBMS databases such as Oracle, MySQL, Postgres, etc. So why I have kept it in my list? Because it is very simple to learn. Okay, so these are the four most popular ingestion tools, right, that can be used to ingest the data. So once we have ingested the data, we may need to store it somewhere, right? But since we are talking about big data, so it is quite obvious that we cannot store that on a single machine. We have to somehow split our data and distribute that massive data. So that's why we need something called as distributed storage. The first storage that I'm going to talk about is HDFS. Again, it is part of Hadoop. Hadoop framework was the first in the market to introduce distributed storage in 2009. And then as the cloud computing came into the market, all the cloud providers start providing their distributed storage. Like Microsoft Cloud has given their distributed storage something called as Azure Blob Storage. Amazon Cloud has provided S3. The Google Cloud has provided Google Cloud Storage. So all of these storage are distributed in nature, means your data would not be stored on a single machine. If you upload your data to these storage, your data will be divided and then will be stored on multiple machines. Obviously, all of that process would be transparent to you. You will never get to know that. So once you have stored the data, what is the next step you want to do with your data? You may need to process the data, right? You may need to clean it, you may need to validate something, or may enrich your data into some other format. So for all that, you need a processing tool that is capable to run in a distributed fashion, because our data is distributed, right? So the first of the framework that I would say is very popular in processing is Apache Spark. It is the market leader, and it can be used to process the data in real time as well as the data that is there on some distributed storage. Okay, the next one I would say is Kafka Streaming. So this particular processing tool can be used to ingest the data in real time and then do processing on top of it. Then we have Apache Storm, Flink. All of these frameworks are most commonly used for real-time processing, but if I have to recommend you, I would say always start with Apache Spark, because undoubtedly Apache Spark is the market leader right now. So now once you have processed your data, the data can be used for different purposes and by different people. So by different people, I mean, for an example, your company has a data analyst who wants to run some analytic queries on top of your process data to gain some business insight. And for that, he may use something called as Apache Hive, that is an analytic tool and again the part of Hadoop framework. But if you're using some cloud technology like Amazon, Google, Microsoft, they may provide some other tools as well. But with respect to open source, Apache Hive is the most popular analytics tools used by data analysts. Okay, or your process data can also be consumed by data scientists to run their machine learning algorithms using some machine learning tools like Apache Spark also provides something called as MLlib to write machine learning algorithms. The other thing you may need to do with your process data is you may need to store it on some NoSQL database such as Cassandra, MongoDB, HBase, or maybe some RDBMS database, right? If you don't know what a NoSQL database is, just think of them as distributed database in which your database system is not limited to a single machine. It is divided into multiple machines and your data as well. Okay. Finally, you may also want to visualize your processed data in form of pie charts, dashboard, and for that you may use many of the well-known visualization tools like Tableau, Power BI, etc. So these are the main component of any big data system, but this is not the end. Because for a big data system to run in a secure and efficient manner, we may need few more things. So the first one is the cluster manager. So the cluster manager is used to manage the cluster resources such as your memory, CPUs, and monitors the health of running elements in the clusters, balances workload, and a lot of more things. Okay, cluster manager is a very crucial part to any of the big data system, and the most common cluster managers that are in the market today is Kubernetes, Apache Mesos is there, and the Hadoop Yarn is there. And then the second thing, in order to make your big data system more secure, we also may need to use some tools that can provide authorization and authentication capabilities to provide more security to your cluster. Okay, so the most commonly used authorization and authentication tools are Kerberos, Apache Ranger, Apache Sentry, etc. So don't worry, I know you might be afraid after hearing about so many tools, but you don't need to know all of them. Okay, like if you are a big data engineer, you may not need to know these authorization and authentication tools because that is a part of administration. Okay, and if you are an administrator, you don't need to know the processing tools. So you have to choose your area of work, and accordingly you have to choose your tools that you may need to require in your day-to-day job. So the next important component that is important for a big data engineer or developer is a workflow manager. So what is a workflow manager? We have already seen that there are various stages in big data ecosystem, like starting from ingestion, processing, storing it back to some storage, NoSQL database, and running some analytic queries, etc. So all of these steps can be clubbed into a workflow to run automatically using some workflow manager. And the most popular workflow manager I would say in today's market is Apache Airflow. So I'm talking about 2021. Apache Airflow is the most commonly used workflow manager nowadays because it provides not only workflow creation but also the scheduling capabilities and beautiful interface to see what is running, what failed, etc. And the other one that was a little old one is the Oozie. That is simpler than Apache Airflow, but I would not recommend you that. Okay. So the next thing that is important for a big data ecosystem is monitoring. Again, this is a part of administrator. If you are a developer, you don't need to worry about these tools. But if you are an administrator, you may need to worry what a monitoring tools are like. Okay, so your big data ecosystem may also need some GUI tools to visualize the resource consumption, to see other metrics of your cluster. For an example, let's say you have 200 machine cluster and one day it stops working. So you need a way to see what is the issue. If this is a network issue, some process is stuck there, is there some CPU issue. So for that you need some monitoring tool, and the most famous monitoring tool that I know is Prometheus, Grafana, etc. Okay, so you may need to know those tools if you're going into the administrator field. So that was the brief of any big data systems. And so once you have decided that you want to be a big data engineer, so believe me, there is no end. This is a continuous journey of learning each and every day. So that's all for this lecture. Stay tuned. Bye bye.